guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and if you follow this channel, you know that we love the E46 M3. I used to own an E46 M3, very similar to this one in Laguna, Seca blue. Looking to add an E46 M3 to the channel, so I figured I'd make a video so you guys know what to look for. If you like these type of videos that help you buy cars, make sure you hit that notification bell, subscribe, like, and share so our channel can grow. Okay, the E46 M3, we've done a lot of videos on this car on the channel, various E46 M3s. What I'll do is I'll link a couple of those at the very end of this video so you can watch those as well. These cars are becoming very popular now. Laguna Seca Blue stick shift cars are selling for big money. So the last thing you want to do is buy an E46 M3 and then it be a money pit. Remember, these cars, to give you a background, were made in 2001 to 2006. That's here in the United States. They had a 3.2 liter straight six producing 333 horsepower at 7,900 RPM, 262 foot-pounds of torque, weigh about 3,400 pounds, and have a 0 to 60 time of about 4.9 seconds. The first issue is this, and it's actually a pretty easy fix. It's the rear view mirror. The fluid in there breaks and leaks and can damage your center console. So if you see the discoloration, fix it right away. You could send it to a couple places, pull the mirror off, send it to a couple places. They'll rebuild the mirror for like $100 or so. Very easy and very easy fix to do. And that's a common problem that's going to affect most E46 M3s that you're looking at, unless that has already been done. Now, some of the other issues we're going to go through next are bigger problems. So you have to budget for these, or as always, get a real good PPI, and PPI stands for pre-purchase inspection. So what you always hear about E46 M3s are rod bearing issues. So the rod bearings can fail, especially at higher mileage. Now, there was an actual recall on these cars. 2001 to 2003 had a free recall from BMW. My car was a 2003 and was subject to that recall. Cars that in the refresh were 2003 and a half or 2003.5 to 2000 through 2006 model year cars had the rod bearings already upgraded. So really you only have to worry about that if you have cars that are 2001 to 2003. So what if you're buying one of those cars and you don't know if the rod bearings were ever done? Maybe these cars are older cars now, so they've had a lot of different owners. The owner doesn't have any proof. Well, if he doesn't have a service record proving it, go down or call your local BMW dealer, give them the VIN number of the car that you're considering purchasing, and they can look up the system whether that recall was ever carried out. If it was carried out, you don't have a problem. If you have no evidence that it was ever carried out, then you should have the rod bearings replaced. Now, these cars came in two transmissions, a 6-speed manual and a sequential manual transmission known as SMG. The manuals were pretty reliable. I've drove this car here in the video. I think it had 150,000 miles on it. I mean, there's really no problems with the manuals. Obviously, you might have to replace the clutch at some point, but the SMGs tend to have more problems. We may do, my car was a 6-speed manual. Maybe I'll do a separate video on the SMG, and again, always get a good pre-purchase inspection. These are great cars, but they are rising in value, so they're going to cost you more money to acquire. So always leave yourself extra to do repairs. So another issue with these cars that you'll hear about all the time is the dreaded Vanos issue. Now that's located in the front of the engine here. It's a variable valve timing, and these could fail, certainly at high mileage. What happens is there's a hub, and those hubs crack, and they could do damage to your engine. Now, how do you know if your car has a Vanos problem? Well, it'll make a very distinct noise. There are other YouTube videos that'll get into those noises that you can hear, and you'll hear that noise at idle when you have a Vanos problem. Again, if you're not sure, before you purchase the car, take it to a pre-purchase inspection at a local BMW or a qualified BMW mechanic. If for some reason they don't PPI the car, then don't buy it. So one of the biggest advice I can give you for buying an E46 M3 is buy a little less than your budget so you have money to fix whatever needs fixing. So for example, if your budget is $20,000, buy a $15,000 car so you have $5,000 for repairs. If your budget is $30,000, that's an awesome budget, but buy a car for $25,000 so you can fix what needs fixing. So another common issue with these are subframe cracks. So basically BMW had only a couple bolts bolting the rear subframe to the actual frame of the car. So what happens is over time this cracks, and it happens a lot in my experience from what I've seen for cars that are driven very aggressively or that tracked a lot. That stopping and go is putting a lot of stress on those bolts, and the subframe will crack. The bad news is this is common, so you really want to check really well. If you don't know what you're checking, have a PPI done, again, by a qualified mechanic. There are fixes, so that's the good news. There are subframe repair kits that could fix the issue if it's already been cracked. The problem with that is they start at about $2,000. So like I said before, always go below your budget with the car so you can fix what needs fixing. These are great cars. They're actually going up in value, low mileage, unmodified, stock cars with clean histories. So if you're looking for one of these cars to go up in value, you want to buy the cleanest, low mileage, best service record, best condition, non-accident car that you can buy and find. If you want to just enjoy the car, then it's fine getting a high mileage car. You'll save a boatload of money, but you want to make sure everything I mentioned in this video has been addressed. If it's not, then you have to address for it. So maybe you need a subframe repair and that's $2,000. You're getting the benefit of the subframe repair, so I seriously doubt that the seller, since these are hot cars and very desirable, is going to lower the price $2,000. But one way I would approach it, if it's a $2,000 estimate for the repair or whatever that number is, see if he'll discount the car 50% for that repair. So for example, using that same $2,000, maybe he'll knock $1,000 off the price. Then it's really only costing you $1,000 to fix it, and you get the benefit of having that subframe fixed for probably the life that you own the car. So these are great cars. I highly recommend them. I definitely, at some point, keep following this YouTube channel. We will add an E46 M3 in stick to the channel. So again, these are great cars, and I highly recommend them, but you just have to know how to buy them. Thanks again for watching, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time on Glenn's Car Collection.